Hello there and welcome to the third creator podcast for the Purgatorians. My name's Paul Hornsby, the creator of the show, the director, the editor and the scriptwriter. I only acted in the final scene of the prequel episode, so I've done my Stephen King bit there. I don't need to do any more. But yes, in this one we're going to be speaking of exactly my goals of how I want this show to do if it does well enough. I'm hoping it does well enough. You never know. If it does, my goals may be ambitious, but they may come into fruition. They may do. Hopefully. Also about premieres and how they'll run and if they can run and exactly what could stop that from happening. How copyright will work on the show. I did touch upon this in the first creator podcast, but I will talk about it in this one as well in a bit more detail, just so you have a more clearer picture of exactly how it's going to go. But first of all, I just want to touch upon the fact that we may be able to step up production a little bit faster. If there's less than 15 characters in an episode, I may now be able to do that within a month, get that recorded within a month, and it'll still take a month and a half to two to get the retakes back and to put it all together, but that's a lot quicker than the 2 to 3 months I originally had. Unfortunately though, if there's 15 or more, it may still be on the 2-month team-based lines I have to get in. I mean, using my own funds right now, I've only got £13,000 a year less tax coming to me. It may be a little bit more than that I've got actually. But yes, my finances are slightly better than I originally thought when I did the team-based rounds for episode 1. So, yes, we might be able to get them moving along a bit faster. So, I want to go into premiering and exactly what may stop me from doing that. So, if there's enough people who like the show, I will premiere them all the time. But if no one's watching, I can't really be there. I've got to work on the show. Shows will be going live at 9 PM on a Friday. The main shows, that is. And the prequel, obviously. They will come on the Fridays at 9 PM. Because, like I said in the first podcast, I do want to stick to the watershed rules. I know this is not TV, but I want to stick to the watershed rules that the UK has. And I do class this as a 15. If it had images, it would be an 18, but right now it's a 15. But what I found happen is, I license some music on Licked, and they tell you to keep it unlisted until it goes through their systems, or they release the claim if it's a claim-managed claim. So what happened once, I did leave a video unlisted for maybe a week, all claims had been cleared, and then as soon as I made it, as I scheduled it, claims came back on it again. So I had to get back in touch with Licked to tell them, make it unlisted again obviously. I had to go back to Licked to tell them they once again released those claims. I scheduled it again and more claims came on. So that may be the only thing that stops me from being able to actually premiere the shows. I do want to. If I can, I will. But if they don't, that is the reason why. Every single time I try to schedule them, claims come on. Hopefully it stops happening. Or if a show's delayed, by the way, if a show's delayed, that will be due to new claims appearing out of nowhere. Now, what will happen is when you get the remastered episodes, all this will be original music, but with YouTube's copyright system, which I do not trust at all. I will touch more on copyright later and exactly how that's going to work. But with the copyright system, anybody, and literally anybody, can make a claim. I mean, look at, I can't remember who it was, but that poor guy who had his channel for ages, he used public domain footage. Someone else who used public domain footage claimed his videos and nearly took his whole career down. Don't do that, please. Please, please, please respect each other as creators. Please don't be filing false claims. Another thing that worries me, and I'm going to say this, please follow me on Twitter or join the Discord. The Discord link will be in the description below. I do apologise if it stops allowing you to join with that link. If it does, let me know. It's because every time I try to copy the link from Discord, I have to change the link for some reason because it gives me 7 days, even though I put it on never running out. So hopefully we can sort something out. But if you join our Discord, our official Discord, or you just follow me on Twitter/X, then that'll let you know if the channel's gone down and exactly what's happening. But if it does go down, I need an army of people, especially bigger content creators hopefully, to be shouting out to Team YouTube to help me get it back. I do. Now, the show will be bleeped on YouTube. I have to do that, unfortunately, especially with some of the scenes that happen. I am trying to limit us being took down, but there's so many people out there. I'm not doing a woke show. I wanted to bring a dark and gritty story, and that's what's happening. So I've got an rant into getting took down now. This was about premieres. But yes, that's all true. I stand by everything I've just said. I do not trust the copyright system whatsoever, and especially when the remastered shows come, they will all be original. I'm getting all the people who I pay to do the music to actually give me an authentication note, like a license detail. Now what will happen is as well, I do want to put this on Spotify and Amazon Podcasts or whatever that's called. I do want to put it there as well. So when I get the remastered versions, they'll be coming there. I'll also be selling CDs and DVDs also. So that will help fund the show a little bit, as well as merch as well. Also what I want, this is what I'd love, please sponsors, anybody out there, please, I'm begging you, listen to my pleas. If you look at radio plays on Radio 4, so to say, in the UK, if you look at those and you advertise on those, you think they're good to advertise on, please consider this show as well. It is running in the same vein. It is an audio drama, a radio play. I don't want to do a cut in the middle of the show that, you know, it cuts to my camera, me talking, promoting a product. I want actual, proper, like TV ads here, sponsored that way. So please, I want to try to make this as professional as possible. Me cutting the show into me talking about Raid Shadow Legends. It's just going to ruin the whole flow of the show completely. So yes, you can either give it as the radio side or an ad side. If I do get sponsors though, I may take ads out of the middle, depending on how many I get and how long the episode is. Say it's half an hour, there may be 2 ads in the middle. That is with if I get sponsors. If it's a 45-minute episode, it'll be 2 ads, you know, kind of like the TV shows do on TV. That's what I was thinking of. Why did I go blank there? I literally had like a 30 seconds pause trying to think what it was. So it'll be 2 ads, maybe 15 minutes into it, 2 ads, maybe 30 minutes into it. I'm not going to make them 1-minute ads, don't worry about that. They're going to be the same length as TV, if I get them. I'm going to be reaching out to brands saying, listen, I'm doing this kind of show, would you like to add your ads into it? I don't know how much to charge, I've not looked into it yet, but for the first 11 episodes I may do cut down rates, just to try and get a bit of trust there. So hopefully I can, well, they don't even know who I am either, so some trust there on their side as well. But yes, that's exactly how I want it to work. The 80-minute episodes obviously will have longer ads in there. Not longer ads, sorry. More ads. So it'll be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes. But this show is so expensive to make. I really hope you can understand why I'm doing it like this. I cannot afford to chuck £60,000 into a show for voice cast alone with getting nothing back. Plus, you'd have maybe, if the show doesn't make any money, and I'm using my own funds, say season 4, we probably would have had 20 recasts of the same role by then, because things are going along so slowly. Hopefully it's not, but that's the way it's looking right now. I did want to batch script all the episodes to people so they could record the lines and send them to me, but unfortunately I got a lot of complaints about that. I don't know why. I mean, it sounds better for me. They're not pressured into a deadline. They can record the lines when they want. But if they all voted, they don't want... Well, most voted, should I say. They don't want batch scripts, so I just left the option open to those that do. So I do apologise if you do have to have cast changes or anything like that. I really do. I've gone on a rant again. I am truly sorry. I'm going to move on to how my ultimate goal of how I want the show to run. Now, this is possibly the most ambitious thing you've probably heard anybody say. Honestly, it will be. I said in the first podcast, I have always wanted to do a long-running show. I have always wanted to try my hardest to bring weekly episodes out. That is what I'm aiming for. The show has to do exceptionally well for this. My top priority is getting all the cast and crew up to industry standards. I'm doing this on trust because my software and time limited does not really allow me to keep track of lines or time people have spent on the show. So, yes, I'm asking the cast and crew to keep track of the lines and also to keep track of how long they've spent, like working on the main theme and stuff like that. The main theme should have been in the show, actually. Did you hear it? If you heard it, tell me what you think of it, please. I should have started with that. I completely forgot. If the show does very well, extremely well, enough to be making a profit, enough to pay all expenses, enough to give me living costs, I'm not talking luxuries here, I'm just talking bills, food, shelter, stuff like that, then I want to bring it every week for the year. And I will bring it more than Season 5. I do have plans for after Season 5. After Season 5 ending will have the actual ending that it would have had, but I will bring it past that. But, as I say, it will cost a hell of a lot to do that, bringing it weekly. I will hopefully be adding all the remastered episodes to that one instead of mine, because I won't have time to script and put the show together, unfortunately. I may be able to put a rough draft together just to give the editor a reference of how I want it to sound. But unfortunately I won't be able to spend too much time doing much other than scripting. I won't be able to bring it daily, that is one thing I won't be able to do. I know I've wanted a long-running drama. A lot of long-running dramas run almost daily in the UK. Now, I won't be able to bring it daily, but if I can bring it weekly without breaks, that's my ultimate goal. That, as well as adding CGI. If I ever got enough money to do so, I would add CGI, or even made it live action, even better live action, and I would sell the DVDs. That is exactly what I'd do. They are my ultimate goals. That's what I want, and with your help, hopefully I can bring it. Now, unfortunately, lately, well, from yesterday, imposter syndrome set in. Come on, give me the yours. I want the sympathy, please. No, but it did. Imposter syndrome set in. I'd seen this a lot on Twitter. Someone made a comment. It isn't their fault. It's not their fault at all. I do not blame them. They should not blame themselves. I'm not going to name them. They'll know they are. So I do apologise to you. I really do. But, sorry, I do get a little bit emotional talking about this kind of thing. So if you hear my voice breaking, I do apologise. Yes, imposter syndrome set in, a comment was made, and I took it far too much to heart. I do have depression, I do have anxiety, I do have paranoia, as well as some other things, but unfortunately, yes, I took it too much to heart, and I started wondering, I'll put the post up, what I thought. I started doubting myself, was I really being able to do this? Can I do it to the best of my potential? Please, I beg of you, imposter syndrome's still in now, but I'm still trying to crack on with the show. If I don't, I could leave it behind for a month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on how long it takes to pass. But, please, I'm not asking for encouragement. I'm not asking you to say, oh, this show's great, this show's fabulous. please, 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 but put it politely, please politely, if you tell me every show's fantastic or stuff like that, I'm going to be like those X Factor contestants or Britain's Got Talent contestants whose parents always say you're fabulous, you're great, stuff like that, get on stage, can't sing. but you got the ego of someone who can. Constructive criticism, please. Don't just say you're shit and that's the end of it. Please, I beg of you, give me constructive criticism. I do apologise if you're hearing my mic bouncing about. I have got the shock mount on, but unfortunately I don't have the mic arm because the table's full up of crap and it would have took too long to clear off and then I wouldn't have been able to record. My back would have been hurting. But yes, constructive criticism, I ask for that completely. Don't say you want to give up or get a proper job. Please don't say get a proper job. I'm not putting the song back in that I put in the last one, but please, please, please don't say get a proper job. £60,000 for voice cast, including doing the remastered episode. You're putting this up to maybe £150,000 per season after everything is paid for. That might be a bit high, maybe 130,000, 125. Let's say 125, just as a low ball. That's how much it's going to be costing per season. So please don't say get a proper job. How many proper jobs? Well, directing is a proper job. Editing's a proper job. Acting? No, I only acted once in this show. Script writing's a proper job. So yes, I've got a proper job. I'm just voluntary right now. I volunteer this job. I'm doing 4 roles for nothing. But yes, I'm not going to try to pressure anyone to... Or I'm not going to try to pressure anyone at all. But I'm not going to pressure anyone to join Patreon right now. You just get early access to the promos, but that's it at the moment. Maybe if you're looking forward to the show and you want to help us out, but that's it right now. You're just going to get early access to those. Maybe think about it when the show goes live, but until then, it's completely up to you. Well, it's completely up to you then, but I'm not going to keep requesting it really. It all depends on how much you want the show to come. But yes, let's move on to copyright. Now, I've touched upon this in the last podcast. I'm going to touch upon it on... I touched upon it in the first podcast. I'm going to talk about it properly now. So, with the show using licensed tracks, that will be the biggest hindrance... Oh, I can't even say the bloody word. Hindrance, there we go, sorry, to how you might get claimed. If you do reactions to it on your own channel, the copyrighted music could get you claimed from UMG or Warner Brothers or anybody else have licensed tracks from. So you got to be careful with that. But my own copyright system, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a rough draft together, and well, a rough draft of the rough draft show, so to say. The first rough draft will be sent to the cast. This will not be made public at all. This will go to the cast. They'll be able to see exactly what retakes are needed. They'll be able to see if they're satisfied with their performance. Then I will go to work putting it all together after I've got the retakes. Hopefully I don't need more retakes. If I do, I'll just send that scene to that cast member because it'll be shorter and I may be able to do that on Discord. After that, I will be putting together a rough draft of the final cut. Now what that'll entail, it'll be the words or the lines put together, no music. I won't be putting the music there, but this will happen when I've got all original music all paid for. What will happen is I will enter that into YouTube's copyright ID system and then proceed to add music and sound effects over the top of that. Now obviously I can't put it in with the music and sound effects. I'm only licensing these tracks, I can't copyright ID these tracks, so they're doing that themselves. But the main reason why I'm doing this, it's not to strike at anybody or anything like that. You can talk crap about the show, you can praise the show. I'm not going to strike you down for doing that. But what may happen is, you won't get a strike at all, I will never strike you. But I may do revenue sharing because the show still has to make money, and if it's taken away from the show, it will just be revenue sharing. The remastered episodes may be different, unfortunately. That may be allow you to put it up but claim more revenue, because that is a hell of a lot of work and money to be putting into a show. I mean, I know 60,000's a lot, at least, for the main show, for the early shows, but I'm not even though the channel's called Serenity Solo Studios, I am not a studio. I am solo. Serenity Solo. I just put studio to mark it as, kind of a bigger project. That is the way it's going to work. I just wanted to give you a fair warning about that. It is also to see who has made videos about the episodes, so I can give them a watch, see exactly what they say. Once again, I'm not going to strike them down if you talk crap. If you say, oh, I hate this show, this show's crap, you've got every right to say it. I'd like to know why you're listening to the episodes, though, if you think that. I mean, you'd stick at one, and then that's it. If you want to keep watching the episodes and slating them, you do you. I hope I get more likes than hates, but we'll see. I do want to keep doing this until close to death. I mean, if I suddenly die, you're going to be left without an ending. If I get warning I'm going to die, or I reach old age, then I'll add a proper ending to it and try to finish it before I die. But in short, TLDR for that. No strikes from me. You may get it from the companies, the music companies, so be careful, but no strikes from me. If you want to submit things, the best way to do it would be to submit your reactions to me, whether video reactions or audio reactions. I will make 2 separate videos if I get both, video and audio. Please be aware though, if you do this, you're giving me full rights to use your clips. You can't claim me. Because what will happen is, if you send me your clips, I will send you something to say, I give you full permission to use these in your videos, and then you e-sign it and then send it back to me, and then that covers me. I don't want to take risks. I'm not having my channel taken down for someone who suddenly just starts hating on the show. So yes, that's all for this episode, I think. Let me just check. Yep, I've just had a look. That's the final thing I need to talk about on this one. I will be back with a 4th creative podcast at some point. At this moment in time, I don't really have anything more to talk about, so it may be a while, unless you give me talking points. If you've got something that you'd like me to talk about, please do this, and I will create another podcast giving information on it. There's a lot of information in the first one, there's some information in the last one, then the information in this one, so please take a listen to those first, because it may have already been answered. So with that, I shall finish this one now, and I'll move on to whatever I need to do next, and I'll hope to see you in either the next ones, the promos, the teasers, the 2025 teasers, like the cast teasers, will be coming next year. They will be fully 2024-2025 cast. I'm hoping to do better character introductions with those ones as well. Give them a severe scene, so to say, of one of those. It may contain minor spoilers, but it won't give you major spoilers. But they'll be much better than the character previews you've got this year. And also the 2025 cast interviews will be coming next year as well, the current cast members, so hopefully you're looking forward to those too. So with that, I shall sign out now, and like I said, I'll move on to whatever I'm doing before I descended into that. And I'll hopefully see you somewhere else, especially in the main shows. Please return to the main shows. So until then, I'll see you later. Bye.
she